Maybe the only place on Earth that remains undiscovered and full of mysteries is the oceans. Oceans cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface. Most oceans have an average depth of 3.7 kilometers, but one place goes down deeper than 11,000 meters. The Mariana Trench, a place that, despite freezing cold and incredible pressure, still hosts life forms waiting to be discovered. But do we really know what's hiding in such depths? And how was this trench even discovered? What did the Soviet Union have to do with it? And what about the two mysterious sound recordings that came from the Mariana Trench over time? In this video, we'll try to answer all these questions and take a mysterious journey into the depths of the Mariana Trench. Around 180 million years ago, while dinosaurs ruled the land during the Jurassic period, a different kind of battle began beneath the ocean. Two massive tectonic plates slowly but relentlessly collided. The Pacific Plate started to slip beneath the Philippine Plate. This massive weight pulled the ocean floor down, and over time, the deepest scar on the planet was born: the Mariana Trench. The trench stretches 2,550 kilometers along the ocean floor. Its deepest point lies 10,984 meters down. Recent measurements suggest it may be even deeper, surpassing 11,000 meters. To give perspective, it's as wide as continents horizontally, and deep enough to swallow Mount Everest vertically. And in 1872, it was about to be discovered. The HMS Challenger embarked on one of the greatest scientific ocean expeditions in history. The mission was to map the seafloor, and the ship traveled nearly 70,000 miles around the globe, about 1/3 of the distance from the Earth to the Moon. During this voyage, they measured depths at around 350 different points. Their method was simple: a long rope with a weighted rod attached. When the rod touched the seabed, they could calculate the depth. On one of these stops near Guam Island in the Western Pacific, the crew lowered the rope. The wooden reel squeaked as the rope unwound, faster and faster. 3,000 meters, 5,000 meters, 7,000 meters. The sailors stared at each other in shock. The rope still hadn't reached the bottom. Finally, the reel stopped. They measured the depth: 4,475 fathoms, or 8,185 meters. Silence filled the ship. Never before had they encountered such depths. Beneath them was a dark, seemingly bottomless void. That day, the crew of HMS Challenger unknowingly wrote the first page of a historic discovery. But here's something few people know. The first measurement was actually inaccurate. Currents and the rope's angle weren't accounted for. And there was another hidden detail. Mapping the ocean floor wasn't purely scientific. It had military roots. The main goals were to find routes for undersea cables and optimize naval operations. Years later, in 1951, the Royal Navy's HMS Challenger II returned with a new invention: sonar. Originally developed in the early 1900s and used during World War II to detect enemy submarines, sonar worked by sending sound waves underwater. When the waves hit solid objects, they bounced back, revealing what lay below and how deep it was. This was far faster and cheaper than lowering ropes. The burning question: how deep was the Mariana Trench really? Challenger 2 measured the depth, and the result shocked everyone. On the screens, they saw nearly 10,900 meters, the deepest point in the ocean. To visualize, if you placed the 102-story Empire State Building inside, it would look like a toy. This spot was named Challenger Deep in honor of the ship. Now, people wanted to dive into the trench itself, but there was a problem. At that depth, pressure is over 1,000 times normal. It's like having 3 Eiffel Towers pressing on you. To demonstrate, a team once placed a mannequin head inside a pressure chamber. Under immense pressure, the head shrank dramatically. And that was with a rubber-filled model. Imagine what would happen to a human. The solution came from Swiss scientist Auguste Piccard, who in the early 1950s designed a special deep-diving vessel, the bathyscaphe. Unlike regular submarines designed for horizontal travel, bathyscaphes were built for vertical dives to extreme depths. In 1958, the U.S. Navy bought Piccard's bathyscaphe Trieste and modified it to withstand 11,000 meters. Finally, on January 23, 1960, the first manned descent into the Mariana Trench began. Not Auguste Piccard himself, he was too old, but his son, Jacques Piccard, along with U.S. Navy Lieutenant Don Walsh. The cramped vessel descended at about 3 miles per hour. After 3,000 feet, they were in total darkness. Hours later, they witnessed something extraordinary. Bioluminescent creatures glowing in the black water, like a scene from a fantasy world. After nearly 5 hours, they reached the bottom, 36,000 feet deep.